Recovery after Hurricane Helene's devastating blow to western North Carolina happened last September. Now, a full circle moment for a local photographer whose home was actually damaged during Hurricane Helene. One of his stunning photos, gorgeous, beautiful, stunning
that is
photos.
stunning.
Yeah, it's going to be featured in North Carolina's Our State magazine. It highlights the region's recovery and welcomes visitors back to that area.
Photographer Jason Tarr joins us this morning here on Fox Weather. Jason,
Hey.
Your work is truly a symbol of Western North Carolina.
Yeah.
Not only the beauty, but also the resiliency from where you're from. So tell us a little bit about your story, the story behind this epic photo.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for having me on. It's really an honor to be here. Yes, this past year has been a true challenge, and I recognize the many blessings and how fortunate I am that while my home was heavily damaged and I'm still out of my home, there is still a structure there and it's being rebuilt. And I know that many others do not have that ability, that their home might have been washed away in a flood. So I first of all just want to recognize that. But my home, as you saw in those pictures, a large white oak tree basically fell on the house during those high winds and rain during Hurricane Helene and split the house in half. And it took out the roof, it took out most of the second story, and very fortunate that I was not there at the very last minute. My work sent me to a conference in nearby Tennessee and to take the place of somebody else who got sick, and that likely saved my life. I would have been in the bed where that tree crashed in. So as you mentioned, this has really been a full circle moment for me. This picture that I took previous fall season, I drove up in the dark and hiked out to this lookout point and spent probably a couple of hours out there taking pictures until this little red car came around that curve of the Linco Viaduct, an architectural wonder up there in the North Carolina high country. And this moment just captured here ended up being a symbol in Our State magazine for welcoming people back to the mountains in the first fall after Hurricane Helene.
Jason, I think that is so critical right now when you talk about rebuilding and getting back to a sense of normalcy. There's still a lot that needs to be done. And it's amazing how things happen for a reason. You had to be at that conference for whatever reason, and I think we know why now. When you talk about your work and all that you've done, what does this mean to you, to your community, to say, hey, come back to our area. We are still rebuilding. We still need you to come in here and see the beauty that is North Carolina, East Tennessee.
Absolutely. So I actually used to work in Asheville tourism for 6 years. I worked in Asheville tourism, and I got to personally know so many of the incredible people, the local business owners, the community members, the leaders, and then to see them go through various stages of this recovery. And some of them lost their homes, and some of them lost loved ones in the storm, and some of them lost a business. It's been a real difficult thing to see. But that being said, what I will say is that we have an incredible community here, and it may sound cliche, but when I tell you the way that the community has rallied around one another, the way neighbors have rallied around neighbors, local businesses that have turned into, right after the storm, turned into food distribution centers. It's really been incredible to see. And now, about a year after the storm, as you drive around, I mean, you see the recovery in action. I mean, so many of the areas like our beautiful downtown and some of our primary attractions such as Biltmore didn't really sustain any structural damage. But of course, when the storm knocked out power and water, that presented all kinds of challenges. But overall, I would say the community has really recovered. You'd be surprised. And we really welcome you to come back to Asheville. We think that you're going to find that it's ready, and all of our local businesses, all of our people in our community are ready to welcome you back. We so value anybody who comes to visit and who contributes to our community in that way. And I just think that Asheville is back on the upswing, and you'd be surprised at how far along things are. Not to say, and I want to make sure that I'm cognizant and respectful of the fact that there are neighborhoods and there are people in the community like myself who are still out of their homes, who are still out of their businesses, that are still working to get roads and bridges rebuilt. But the heart of our city is beating, and it really, I was just in downtown over the weekend. I was at Biltmore last week. I was in the River Arts District this past weekend as well, and it's incredible how everything has recovered and come back.
It truly is remarkable, and it is important to note, to your point, we still have a way to go, but you are open for business, and your photography is going to help, I think, bring people in, because it's not only just a fall event, but the winter as well. We appreciate your time. That is North Carolina photographer Jason Tarr. Thank you so much for keeping the story alive and for all you do.
Thank you. And just to say